Said I'm close to baby, we can talk about it. No need to be mad, hate to see you sad. Yes, I know I'm crazy, crazy about you, crazy about you.
I know I'm a flirt sometimes. I know I get drunk some nights. I know I get way too high. I just wanna live it up with you. I know that it might be tough. I know when you've had enough. It's just how I show my love. Darling, can I live it up with you? I'm a flirt sometimes. I know I get drunk some nights. I know I get way too high. I just wanna live it up with you. Darling, can I live it up with you?
Made a mistake last night. Maybe I can make it right. Said I'm close to baby, we can talk about it.
Made a mistake last night. Maybe I can make it right. Said I'm closer, baby. We can talk about it. No need to be mad. Hate to see you sad. Yes, I know I'm crazy, crazy about you, crazy about your lips. I know I'm a flirt sometimes. I know I get drunk some nights. I know I get way too high. I just wanna live it up with you. I know that it might be tough. I know when you've had enough. It's just how I show my love.
the sunrise. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright.
Yo, welcome back. It's hot out today, especially in Texas. And that's where we're going. We're going to Coda. Anyway, welcome. This is the beautiful 5FIRacing.com website. That's 5FIRacing.com. If you'd like to join us, easily put that in the URL. And then if you want to join the races on SimGrid. But before you even can do that, you have to click on Discord and join us and, you know, get with the group. Follow us on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Reddit as well. But anyway, SimGrid. We're on Founders League Season 7, the very first one. Click on that. If you'd like to register, we have 1 spot left for the golds and 1 spot for the silvers. I feel like every week it's just getting more and more filled. Regardless, you hit register. As soon as you register, you select your class. I am gold split because of my rating. You select your car, your number. If you don't have a team, leave it blank. Select all the notifications you want. Agree and register. I will not register though. That is for you to do. Rules are easy and simple. We'll keep it easy and simple. LFM BOP is in use and it gets updated before each race. There are 2 race drops that I will go into as soon as we go into the standings. Obey all yellow flags. If you have a penalty and you decide to rage quit and leave the track and just quit, you will be penalized next race. So like, at least serve it before you quit. I'm just saying low key. That's the workaround. Code of conduct, be respectful. Report your incidents. And yeah. And the rules for Coda today. I will go into detail later. The current standings for the gold split. We have Ross O'Connor in P1 with 47 points. Albert Tranchisi, P2, also 47 points. So there is a tie. Albert has to be on his toes. And this is the drop rounds that I was telling you about. Albert already has 2 here. He dropped his race 2 and race 3. His race 1 gave him 47 points. Ross O'Connor here did not participate race 1, but he won race 2 and got 3rd place race 3. So race 1 and 3 got dropped, which leads him to this 1 victory in race 2, which gives him 47 points. As we continue each race or each series, each round, the lowest score will be dropped. So if you see here, Zach Manriquez, who was in P7, has 30 points. His 2 races that were dropped were his 3rd one and his 1st one. He got a P4 finish in round 2, so those are being kept because those are the highest awarded points. Hopefully that makes sense. Easier to see with Jake Wells, dropped 1 and 2, race 1 and 2, 1 race 3, spoiler alert, 46 points. P3. Joshua Worley, P4, 39 points. Sam Staples, P5, 32 points. Albert Gianna, P6, 32 points. He's also tied with Sam Staples, so there's a battle for the top 5 there. It's also good to note that Jake Wells is 1 point away from Albert and Ross up there, so it's gonna get spicy. Joshua Worley is trying to make his ground and trying to peek into the top 3, so that's going to be exciting to see what's going to happen. Zach already said P7, 30 points. Kyle Hirsch and Daniel Hirsch both respectively at 0 at this current moment. In the silver splits, we have Kyle Busch in P1, 47 points. Jonathan Kelly in P2 with 45 points. He's very close. The top three are pretty much very close as well. Alexander Sabo, he's in P3, 42 points. Douglas Furnish, P4, 39 points. Brad Tarno, 37.5 points, P5. Greg Landry, P6, 36.5 points. He's right behind Brad Tarno. All these guys are fairly close to each other. No more than, what is this, 3 points apart? That's what it's looking like. Almost 3 points apart from top 10. Very close racing. Joey Johnston, P7, 34 points. Chris Unfair, 30.5 points. He's in P8. Edgar Herrera, P9, 27 points. And Randy Zimmer, P10, 24 points. We'll go a couple more. Kevin Alexander, 11 place, 22.5. Darren Montes, P12, 21 points. And Victor Sabo, 13 points. 13 place, 19 points. Fuck it, let's just go through the whole list. Justin Fry, P14. Jeff Kelly, P15. Jacob Myrie, P16. Gelson Cruz, P17. Joe Kronk Jr., P18. And Christopher Grider. Christopher G, P19. Going down that same list is 17 points, 17 points, 15 points, 0, 0, 0. On to the race recap real quick. What is this? Pause. Wait, that was the right one. Why did it look so weird to me? I'm having a serious brain fart. Anyway, the start of Spa was quite nice under the stars and the darkness, as you'll see here. All the drivers just zooming by. Air Rouge and Radeon. In a nice single file line, most of them at least. Everyone made it through fairly safe. There was 2 incidents in lap 1 that one of which I will show here. Only because it was a good comeback kid moment type of thing, you can say. Nonetheless, right now we're watching O'Connor here in the top 3. In the beginning of the race, the top 3, well, eventually the top 3 ran away, but that being Jake Wells and Albert Tranchisi and O'Connor here. Bagiana and Kyle Busch were also fairly close by. Going back into the replay, here we're following Justin Fry, and he had a little bit of a slip up here. He went wide and just lost his rear. Oversteered, couldn't control that. He ended up getting back into the race, so no harm, no foul. Brad Tarno though, making moves on Douglas Furnish here. Having a really close racing between both these drivers. Brad having the most ideal line in that situation. Douglas Furnish being forced to stay on the outside as he went wide in the turn prior. So that allowed Tarno to secure that. Very nicely done. Lap 3, we had Joshua Worley and Alexander Sabo. If you see really quick to your left, Alexander Sabo completed the overtake right there. Worley not able to have the top speed out of that section. Well, Alexander probably used his slipstream to get around him, to be honest. Nonetheless, though, he was not giving up without a fight. The pirate here. Joshua Worley. Good move on Alexander Sabo. Getting that overtake done cleanly. Victor Sabo, though, making moves on Edgar Herrera here. As you'll see, Edgar goes a little bit wide, and Victor Sabo seizes the opportunity to get by. And if you see behind him, Chris Unfair seizes the opportunity even more and gets by Victor Sabo, activating his turbocharger or something in that car. His NOS or whatever was in there. He was the other driver who had a little bit of an incident in lap 1, which is unfortunate. But he was making him and Justin Fry are the comeback kids. As Jacob Myrie here goes wide, but to be honest, if he did make that corner, that probably would have been a contact type situation there with Edgar Herrera. So I guess it's bittersweet that he actually went wide. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you guys think? Lap 6, Justin Fry is making his way through the grid. As Edgar Herrera has a little bit of a slip up there. Loses a little bit of traction and allows Justin to get by fairly easily. And good move on him. And eventually hunting down Jacob Myrie, who's right in front, making his way up the grid, coming from dead last, moving his way on up. He currently is in P16. Myrie is P15 right there, who unfortunately goes way wide and allows the two drivers behind him to unfortunately let him by very easily without a fight. Herrera there, who's behind Fry, is not giving up his position without a fight though. He's staying relatively close to Fry, which is very nice to see, especially going up El Rouge and Radon. Jonathan Kelly and Zach Manriquez. Zach Manriquez showing Jonathan Kelly how to drive the Porsche, how to brake under pressure, making moves happen. Look at Manriquez go. He is just a force to be reckoned with. Pretty much a bully Jonathan Kelly. Kelly, though, not giving up without a fight, that's for sure. He's over here up behind him and tried to catch up to Manriquez here. Chris Unfair, the other guy moving up on the grid. He ends up making a fantastic move here on Douglas Furnish. Furnish, I believe, probably thought Chris was gonna run into him or something. Probably decided to go wide, but it's either that or they were just both going to pit at the same time. Which, regardless, Chris Unfair managed to break him and beat him to the pits. Little mind games here. I am going to pause this right here because in hindsight, this might have not been the best and brightest move of mine. So this is lap 16, Ross O'Connor and Albert Tranquilli. They had a really, really good fight. And thank you, oh no, Noodles, here on Twitch. Saying I'm crushing it, bro. I appreciate it. I try my hardest. Back to the recap. So up on your left, you have Albert Tranquilli's POV. Eventually, up to your right there, bottom right, is the POV of Ross O'Connor. So in hindsight, well, when I was putting this together, I thought this is a brilliant way to demonstrate what's going on between both these drivers and see the third person point of view as well. The audience point of view, I guess we're watching here. Anyway, now reviewing it is probably a bit too much action, and I'll probably just rewind it twice so you guys can actually pick a POV and just follow it. If you want, you can just follow the center. Anyway, Albert Tranquilli is behind, and he manages to outbrake Ross O'Connor, but just because Ross O'Connor made a mistake, the pressure got to him, and he outbroke himself. This allowed Albert to get in there. Ross O'Connor tried to sneak a fast one in there and get the inside. Couldn't make that happen, so he tried to go on the outside, but Albert Tranquise, he just squeezed him out. What a brilliant move there. I'll go back so you guys can pick a POV on this this nice battle here. Did I go back too far? I did not. Here we go. So I'll stay quiet here and let you guys pick a POV. Enjoy the music for a little bit. So lap 16. Give me 1 sec. Lap 18, sorry. Jonathan Kelly and Victor Sabo. Jonathan Kelly, this is for P5. Victor Sabo currently in P6. Jonathan Kelly manages to get by him. Victor Sabo made the tiniest of errors and allowed Kelly to get through. Oh, good move on him. And lap 26, your race winner, your race finisher, Jake Wells. The Samurai Motorsports McLaren. Congratulations. A little bit of fun. Stay with me. Look at this. Pay attention to your left. We have a pirate coming in deep and hot. Oh my. That was Joshua Worley having a little bit of fun since the race ended. Reckless fun, but fun regardless. And that was the race. If you give me a moment, I will pull up well, eventually I'll pull up the server. They just finished their qualifying time. While we wait for the race to start, for our drivers to line up and race start. How are you guys doing? How are you doing? Oh no, Noodles. Oh, tell me. Also, kind of bummed out of my scheduling. I'm gonna try to shoot for an earlier start time, a slightly earlier start time, just so we can get a couple of the qualifying times to be on camera. No, instead of it just being a total surprise who's first in the track. One second, ladies and gentlemen, 1 second. I need to grab my fact sheet over here. So, today we're in the Circuit of Americas in Austin, Texas. Track is huge. Like, we are talking extremely huge. We're talking 3.427 miles long, which is 5.513 kilometers long. There are 20 turns, 11 left-handers, and 9 right. So I guess in your setup, if you're going to be on the track, you would mostly make it 50-50. Make it like 55 45 in terms of how you set up your car. Make it more left-hand based, or make it handle the left-hand turns a little bit more, since you have 11 left turns instead of 11 versus 9. What I meant to say. Anyway, the track in width is 42 to 52 feet wide, so there is plenty, and I mean plenty of room for a huge stack of battles. I'm talking, and not just a side-by-side between two cars. We can have side-by-side racing between a multiple of 5 or more cars stacked. So if anyone from the race is currently listening in, do not be shy. Stick your nose in. Stick your nose in someone's rear and disturb them. I know what I said. You can clip that. There's 130 feet of elevation change. Most of that is, or I believe all of that is from turn 1. Big red. Speaking of which, these turns are, the turn names are my favorite turn names out of all the tracks. They're so simple and so easy to know. What might they be, you might ask? Well, turn 1 is turn 1. Turn 2, guess what? Is turn 2. Turn 3, the start of the S's. Yep, that is turn 3. All the way up to turn 20. Turn 20 is turn 20. There is no deviation from these turn names. You cannot go wrong. I love it. Couldn't be any more simpler than that. Also, couldn't be any more boring though. Should have made turn 1 called Crash Corner or something. Make turn 12, which is the long straightaway. You'll see on the screen right now. Top middle section with the big star. That's turn 12. What should that have been called? Overshoot point? I don't know. Out of bounds. If you hit your braking marker just a tad bit wrong there, you are going off, and if anyone is around you, you are going to suffer the change in positions. Not just one or twice, but you'll suffer like a huge portion depending on how many drivers are behind you, how close the race is. And to be honest, from what I'm seeing, the race is very, very close. Sneaks. Spoiler alert. Anyway. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the session has ended, but my goodness, there's still drivers out, I guess, practicing their stuff. Wait for the session to just turn over. Anyway, the ideal setup for Coda is medium to high downforce, medium to hard suspension. Now, overall, this doesn't necessarily mean this is exactly what you should be running. This just means, in general, the ideal setups is a medium to high downforce, medium to hard suspension. You could run low downforce and everything, just so you can get the straightaways good and gone. But you'll have to just be careful with the S's and turns 12 to, I would say, 16, because those get a little bit tricky, and if you don't have the downforce, they can get very squirrely. And the key action area, these are the areas that we will be paying specific attention to, because overtaking opportunities arise out of these areas, or accidents occur, or just any little random thing can happen in these areas. That is turn 1, turn 11, turn 12, turn 13, turn 19, and turn 20. In these areas specifically, where I put it. Anyone who gets near these key action areas, I myself will be paying special attention to in the back end to see if any battles arise out of this. Anything for your viewing pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of which, oh my goodness, is this race start taking forever? Well, I have you here. I can show you the actual track layout. So you can see I was not lying. There is turn 20. These are the turns. Sector 1 is from turn 1 to turn 7. Sector 2 starts from turn 7 to turn 12? I believe. I could be wrong. Overall, if you ever visit Texas, oh my goodness, is one, it gets hot. That's for sure. But 2, it is such a big, massive state. It basically should just be its own country at this point, for how big it is. Now, the only thing that beats Texas is California, and that's only if we go north and south. We are just a tad bit longer in terms of length compared to Texas. And I know this because I cross both states, and it felt forever to get to Austin, Texas. It felt even worse trying to get out of California when you're going north or going south. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit too long. You do not want to know about my my history. Give me a moment. I'm setting everything up. Nice. So, in P1, surprise, we have Albert Tranchisi. I think I can pull up their quali best times. Negative. Oh well. In P1, we have Albert Tranchisi, our Season 5 and Season 6 champion. Ross O'Connor in the Porsche this time with the new livery. He's in P2. Interesting. Jeff Kelly rocking the BMW. He's in P3. Greg Landry right behind Kelly, P4. And Gelson Cruz, welcome back, dude. Heck yeah, hell yeah. Enjoy Coda, even though you hate Coda. I hear. P5. Oh man, the race is about to start. Zach Manriquez, what is up? P6. Jonathan Kelly, P7. Joshua Worley, P8. I'm gonna find that dick butt. I think I just see it. It's in the headlight. He has a hidden dick butt in his livery. P8. Chris Unfair is P9. Albert Guiana, P10. Christopher Greider, I'm assuming, P11. Brad Tarno, 12. Douglas Furnish, 13. Edgar Hera, 14. Kyle Busch, 15. Darren Montez, cool livery. I'm gonna check it out later. 16. And Joey Johnston, 17.
Green light, give it okay.
And the race is on. How is turn 1 gonna go? Well, Albert is just oh my, a bunch of our drivers are just overshooting it. Russ O'Connor taking advantage though, and snagging that spot as they head into the S's turn 2. We'll be jumping throughout the whole grid and see what's going on. Is that Brad Tarno getting overtaken because he's in a bad position? I'm so sorry, Douglas Furnish, for you to get involved into that mishap there. Walk it off. We'll drive it off. Oh my, Greg Landry came in like a rocket at a turn 11. Right now, they're in the straightaway. Albert Tranchisi potentially has an overtaking opportunity coming up in turn 12. I don't know if he'll be able to seize it. He's going for it. He's trying. He gets shut down. He was very, very close though. Ross O'Connor just having the braking distance down in that Porsche in turn 12. As turn 12 through turn 16 are fairly difficult here. Not easily you can oversteer. So far, we will be hopping from these two who are fairly consistent and checking out Worley, who is less than 1/10th from Guyana. Joey Johnston is also very, very close to Brad Tarno, trying to make moves happen. Chris Unfair is also trying to make moves happen there. I think Joshua Worley might have this. He's 1/10th off. He's side by side in turn 1. Guyana is going to have to go a little bit deep into the corner. They have a little bit of contact there. Nothing too bad. Guyana still able to stay out in front though, but Worley is still trying to fight for that position as they go side by side into the S's. Worley backing off just a tad bit, decides it's better to go single file line. Chris Unfair though is hot on their tail, eagerly waiting for one of these two drivers to make a big enough mistake so he can capitalize on this. Track limits around the S's is fairly unforgivable. Track limits in general for this whole track is pretty unforgivable at certain spots. Worley trying to make moves. We got the POV from Chris Unfair. Will Worley be able to make the overtake happen? Guyana is on the defense. Both of them hard on the brakes. No one overshooting as of yet. Worley manages to hold on to that line. It looked like he was going very wide. Unfair probably getting a little bit antsy at this point and is going to try to peek his head and disrupt one or both of these drivers. As their fighting is allowing a bunch of our other drivers to catch up, we're gonna jump from these two and check out Gelson Cruz and Zach Manriquez are going at it. I believe Cruz just managed to pass Manriquez off camera. Jeff Kelly's right behind him though. Getting a first class view of what Gelson Cruz can do when he's actually back on the track, even though he said he was rusty after not racing for, I believe it was 5 months or so. You know that all too well. Nonetheless though, these drivers are spot on. They are actively intimidating each other, that's for sure. Enriquez probably just a tad bit too wide. We're gonna let this battle simmer. No, no. Gonna come back to this and see what's going on. As we have Christopher trying to get close to Brad Tarno. Well, was trying to get close to Brad Tarno. Probably backed out in the S's. Oh, some interesting news here. Albert just lost a big amount of pace. 1 and almost 2 seconds away. I wonder what happened to him. Interesting. As we're back into the camera, or into the passenger seat with Chris. Who we just missed Whirly complete the overtake on Gianna, but Chris is now on Gianna's tail, trying to make moves happen. Oh, we have the battle with Kelly and a battle with Edgar Hera and Christopher Greider here. Hera smack dab in the middle of a train. It's looking like Kyle Busch is leading this train, currently in P11. I need to check out that that livery. Brad Tarno is getting extremely close to Edgar Hera. Well, all these drivers are extremely close. One mistake, and there it is! Brad Tarno secures P13. Edgar Herrera forced to take P14 off that one tiny mistake coming out of turn 20 in the final corner. Just went a little bit too wide. Again, goes just a tad bit too wide. The switchback potentially happening here. And it's going to be denied. Oh, never mind. They're side by side. I'm totally wrong. He actually reclaims his position. Brilliant driving by Christopher Greider. By Edgar Hera, sorry. Edgar Hera. Good attempt by Christopher Greider, though. So we'll stick with these two. This is the closest battle. Everyone else is, for the most part, settling in. Albert Tranquivi not getting close, but not getting far from Ross O'Connor. He just needs to keep his head down. Keep the consistency up. And eventually, maybe Ross will break. As Brad Tarno is trying to make moves happen. Coming into turn 12, he is 3/10 off Darren Montes. And the Whataburger livery, that's what it looks like. Oh my, a bunch of our drivers are getting a little bit squirrely. Brad is forced to be on the outside. That's not the ideal line. Who is that? What is that? Was that Christopher Greider? No. Joey Johnson? No. Douglas Furnish. Unfortunate mishap there with that. I missed. Maybe it was caught on camera and I just wasn't paying enough attention. We're gonna go back and check out Brad Tarno, who is trying to make moves happen. And if you could just see Christopher Greider also trying to make moves happen. I mean, Edgar Hera trying to make moves happen on Christopher Greider as he tries to go around him, gets a slipstream. Both hard on the brakes. Deep into turn 1, Big Red. And Douglas Furnish is having a hard time controlling his car there. In the background. He had a little bit of oversteer issue there. These two are fighting it out. Chris Unfair also trying to fight it out with Albert Gianna. Whirly ever so slowly walking away from these two. Chris is ever so patient, trying to figure out where Gianna's weakness is. of where he can exploit that weakness, make the moves happen. Grider and Herrera actively engaging in battles. And if you look up at your the top right, you'll see Albert Tranchisi has actually dropped his time. He was at around 2 seconds, and now he's at around 1.3 seconds away from Ross O'Connor. So he is making improvements. It's either he's getting faster, or Ross O'Connor is making tiny little bits of mistake. That's all it takes for there to be a battle. Just like Jonathan Kelly is creeping up on Jeff Kelly. Abergiana has a... We just missed it! No! We need to see this overtake. We're gonna go back at 30 seconds and see what exactly happened here, ladies and gentlemen. No. We cannot miss this live on the air. Here we go. We are in the replay. Let's see what exactly happened. They are in turn 17. Approaching turn 18. It looks like Kiana's going way wide. Chris Unfair seizing the opportunity, sticking it on the inside, the ideal line, and that's how he claims P9. A brilliant move by Unfair, just being ever so patient and putting enough pressure on Giana to get around him. Giana, though, not giving up without a fight, that's for sure. He's less than a second behind Unfair, trying to make moves happen. This is Unfair's opportunity now that he has clean air to catch up to Worley potentially and give him a good fight. That's for sure. As Jonathan Kelly has a white flag. A white flag going into turn 11. That is unusual. And he tries to block Greg Landry. Greg Landry not having that any big. He pretty much looked like he's walking Jonathan Kelly. Hard on the brakes as he's on the inside. Will he be able to keep this position? Oh, it's looking like he's gonna get denied as Jonathan Kelly has the inside. And Jeff Kelly should use this opportunity to just run away. We're gonna step away from these two and check out Edgar Herrera, who was fairly close to Christopher Grider. So many battles on screen. That's for sure. Christopher Grider is getting really close to Kyle Busch as this deja vu. Kyle Busch is going way wide. Christopher Grider seizes the opportunity and gets a by Mr. Busch here. Brilliant move. Oh, a bunch of moves are happening. Joshua Worley is making moves on Greg Landry, securing the P7. Chris Unfair is getting ever so close. Abergiana is fighting with him still, not too far behind. The closest battle is Joshua Worley and Greg Landry at this point. Joshua Worley is man, I wish I remembered what position he started in, but it looks like he's fighting his way up to the top. Is this our MVP or MVD? Most valuable driver? Oh wow, Greg Landry goes way wide there. Unfortunate. Probably got a little bit too excited and just outbroke himself. As Edgar Herrera easily gets by Kyle Busch, but that's because Kyle Busch was in a bush. Per se. He was off track. Just a tad bit. Kyle Busch, a little bit on the struggle bus, even though he has a cool new livery. This guy, it seems like he has a new livery like every week. But we're gonna quickly hop into Joshua Worley, who is less than a tenth from Jonathan Kelly. Jonathan Kelly has to be feeling the heat, as Worley is getting very, very close by. Closing that gap considerably. Unfair is increasing his gap to Gienna and decreasing his gap to Greg Landry. Worley is so close, you can just see him attack that corner. You can just see him attack this corner. Oh my, where did this speed boost come from as Worley hard on the brakes? Forces Kelly on the outside, but Kelly has the inside. Will he be able to reclaim his P7 spot? Or P6? No, he does not. Joshua Worley keeping P6. Gelson Cruz off on the track here. The end of the S's? Near the end of the S's. Oh, how unfortunate. I wonder what happened to him. As he's getting a little bit squirrely, his tires are probably very overheated. Not an ideal situation for Joshua Worley to be in, as he's hard on the brakes going into turn 11. Jonathan Kelly needs to just get a good exit, and he'll be able to walk these two, I believe. Potentially. This is a battle for P5 now. Joshua Worley in P5, Gelson Cruz P6. He probably has a bit of aero damage. Who's still fighting with Worley though, not giving up this position. Greg Landry not too far behind. It's still anyone's game. One small mistake like this right here, Worley goes way wide. You can actually hear his ABS kicking in and activating if you have it turned up. Oh my, how close was that? There had to be some sort of contact there. Oh my, Gelson Cruz is aggressive as aggressive can be. Worley has his work cut out for him, as Jonathan Kelly made a big slip up coming out of turns 17 and 18, allowing Greg Landry to catch up to him and try to make moves happen. And there is Chris Unfair, P9. He's making his way up the grid. Kelly hard on the brakes. Cruz slightly on the outside, potentially outbroke himself. Albert still around 2 seconds. It's gonna be anyone's call as who exactly is going to come home with the victory tonight. As the consistency here is almost spot on, dare I say. Do not want to hit the streamer's curse and jinx the whole grid, but this is what I'm seeing. If you're new here, basically, usually what I tend to say happens to fruition, or I say something and a driver gets cursed, and they end up making mistakes, as Chris Unfair almost runs into Greg Landry. Thankfully, he managed to avoid that near collision here. Lap 8. Christopher Greider has a white flag. Has quite a bit of damage here. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I'm sorry. If you're listening, Christopher, please let me know how to say your last name. Is it Greider? I'm just gonna pronounce it Greider. I think that's what it sounds most correct. I try to announce everyone's name as accurately as possible. Nonetheless, since this is an hour-long sprint, everyone does have a one mandatory pit stop in which fuel is required. 25 seconds here in the pits, so it is optional to take tires, especially on a hot day like today in the Circuit of the Americas. Currently it is 34 degrees Celsius outside. Track temperature is 44 degrees Celsius. What is that, like 108 degrees or something ridiculously hot. degrees Fahrenheit. As we do have some of our drivers in on the pits. We have 4 of our drivers actually. We could check them out right here. Chris Unfair, Gelson Cruz, who is getting out of the pits, Christopher Grider entering the pits, and Darren Montes also entering the pits. In which we can now check out that cool. Oh, does he have damage? I can't really tell. We can check out that cool livery. He had to go back. He misses a pit. Ooh, how embarrassing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we caught that on the stream. Nice livery though. I like it. I'll be checking it out later. Another nice livery with a hidden dick butt somewhere. I will find it. Nonetheless though, there are grid shifts here. Russell Connor is still P1, Albert Tranchisi is P2, Zach Manrique is now P3, Jeff Kelly P4, Joshua Worley P5, Jonathan Kelly P6. The battles are slowly dying out. Fires are being extinguished. Not for Joshua Worthy though. He says, "Give me P4, Jeff Kelly. I am on fire." He is probably the most valuable driver today. He is moving on up. But it moves on all the drivers. And they tried to stop that and just couldn't. Brilliant driving by Joshua Worley. Where did this energy come from? As Greg Landry has a yellow flag. He's out in the S's. Probably just lost it somewhere. Oh, that's unfortunate. He was so close to Jonathan Kelly and just gave up the position to Albert Gunnar to try to challenge Jonathan Kelly now. Who looks like will be able to... oh my, look at the speed difference. Albert Gunnar just walking Jonathan Kelly. What is going on? Holy smokes. Almost a bit of contact there. Gianna turned on the NOS, or we're gonna have to check what's under his hood. Oh my god, was that quick. Jonathan Kelly losing him on the turns though. Skinner now is a second behind Kelly. He's probably has a he's probably gonna go in for the pits. Yep, he decided it's time to pit. That pit entry is sharp and that pit limiter starts quick. Hopefully no one gets a speeding in the pits penalty here, as we're sitting in the seats with Jeff Kelly. It looks like Worley almost lost it there. This could be Jeff's opportunity to close the gap just a tad bit. As we'll see how Kelly takes these turns. Looks like he's taking it slow and controlled. Well, not slow and controlled, just cruise and control. That was. Is that Jonathan Kelly behind that we see? Who cut that corner pretty nasty? No, that can't be Jonathan Kelly. Who is that? that Darren Montes? That is Darren Montes. Ooh, hopefully he doesn't get a track cut warning or a violation of that. If you look at your leaderboard, what would I call this? Leaderboard, trackboard, score. It's not a scoreboard. Positions, leaderboard. Yeah, it's leaderboard. If you look at your leaderboard, Albert Tranchisi is less than a second and a half from O'Connor. He is back at it. Jeff Kelly is within a second of Worley. He is not letting Worley out of his sights. Maybe eventually the pressure will get to Worley as they almost have identical lines. Running at nearly identical pace. Worley slightly slower that last lap at 2:10. Jeff Kelly slightly faster at a 2:09. So it's anyone's guess as to what exactly is going to happen here. Albert Tranchisi has an almost spot-on personal best compared to Ross O'Connor, who's in P1. We'll briefly check in and see what's going on. You can still see Tranchisi right behind him, just keeping Ross O'Connor honest. Who has his blinkers on? Not sure why. Maybe he doesn't know how to turn it off. Or he's too focused to even notice that it's actually on. Nonetheless, as I was saying, their personal bests are very, very close to each other. As Ross O'Connor decides to go in. Ooh, that looked like he went a little bit too hot. Holy smokes. So Ross O'Connor decides to go in. Albert Tranchisi stays out for a lap longer. Will this play to his benefit? Pitting a little bit later throughout the race. It'll be interesting to know if Ross O'Connor here takes tires. Oh man, I'm getting distracted. Albert Tranchisi and Ross O'Connor have nearly identical lap times. Ross O'Connor sitting at a 2:07.652. 652. Albert Tranchisi is a 2:07.655. Albert Tranchisi is off Ross O'Connor's personal best by 3 thousandths of a second. That's how close these two drivers are. Ross O'Connor is now out of the pits. Stayed in the pits for 40.7 seconds. A little bit on the higher end compared to everyone else's pit time. Or total pit time. And it looks like he actually did get tires, ladies and gentlemen. If my hunch is correct, he probably has fresh rubbers on. Wonder what Albert Tranchisi is gonna do. Will he stay out and keep his rubbers on? We will find out as Oh my, our driver's going hot like rockets into that pit lane. Hopefully no one got a speeding in the pit penalty. I cannot physically see these as of yet. Nonetheless though, your current leader for this current moment. Oh, what was gonna be Zach Manriquez, and now it's gonna be Joshua Worley here. Who's in P1, leading the grid for a tiny amount. As we have a bunch of our drivers entering the pits. We have Zach Manriquez in the pits, Jeff Kelly entering the pits, Albert Tranchisi already in the pits, Jonathan Kelly in the pits, and Brad Tarno in the pits. I wonder what each driver, what each strategy is going to be. I do know for sure they have to take fuel. That's a given. How much fuel everyone takes, I'm not sure. Unfair with a white flag. There was dust picked up behind him. He probably touched some grass a little bit. Looks to be a little banged up, but nothing to pit for. At least, given my opinion. Probably gonna stick it out and stay out. Nothing he can't handle. That Mercedes just sounds so grunty. Oh! Oh my! How close was that? Just saw it in time to see a potential crash happen there between Kyle Busch and Jonathan Kelly. Kyle Busch currently sitting in P10, Jonathan Kelly in P11. I do see that everyone has taken their pits except one person. I'll pull it up on the screen. Two people apparently. That can't be right. We saw Gelson Cruz going for the pits, at least on my end. Nonetheless, Joshua Worley is the last driver needing to go in the pits. Right now we're viewing Greg Landry, who is getting very, very close to Chris Unfair. Greg in the not so banged up Ferrari. Waiting for his chance to start dunking on Chris Unfair in his Jordan livery. Where will that move happen? I am going to predict somewhere coming out of the SS. More specifically, he's going to try turn 11. He's still roughly a second. We're gonna let this battle. I wasn't gonna let the battle simmer, but everyone else is fairly close. It's interesting to note though. Albert Tranchisi is in P2, and once Joshua Worley enters the pits, he will be in P1, but right behind him, Ross O'Connor. I think Albert Tranchisi decided to not take tires. Overall, he was a second. Oh, O'Connor just screwing up that corner. That's gonna bite him. The curse coming out. Oops, I'm sorry. I was saying Ross O'Connor had a longer pit time compared to Albert Tranquilli. Albert Tranquilli is 39 seconds in. Ross O'Connor is 40.7 seconds in. And we're going to go to Darren Montes, who's having a fight with Christopher Greider here. Will he try to make a move happen in turn 1? He decides against it. He's still fairly close to Christopher Greider here at sitting around a second mark, so it's anyone's guess as who is going to make more mistakes. All Darren Montes has to do is keep his head down, keep putting the pressure on Greider here, and eventually, hopefully, he'll crack. He'll crack under pressure. Everyone has a breaking point. It's just finding out where that breaking point is. I'm going to figure out where that anime is from when that's on his car. It's starting to bug me now. Just a tad bit. Speaking of which, Whataburger, would you like to sponsor us? Dell, would you like to sponsor us? I'm currently accepting sponsors. Shameless plug. We're gonna let this battle simmer. Turn up the heat on the pot, make it boil. Force these two to keep battling. As we check out Jeff Kelly, who is currently chasing down Gelson Cruz and doing more than chasing down Gelson Cruz. He's pretty much walking Gelson Cruz as Gelson was forced to go on the defensive here. Manages to just outhold and hold back Jeff Kelly. How long will this last though? Clearly the BMW has the speed advantage in the straights because either Gelson Cruz had a terrible exit out of turn 11 and Jeff Kelly had an amazing exit, or just the sheer raw power of that BMW is even with the LFM BOPs is not getting negated. He still has that top end compared to the Porsche. As Gelson goes a little bit too wide, that is going to cost him. Kelly is going to seize the opportunity and get right by him. Unfortunate for Cruz. He's doing so well. Oh my. I love seeing Cruz race though, because he gets up close and personal. There is no personal space with Gelson Cruz. You are his personal space. Oh, he slightly ends up losing it there. Hopefully he doesn't get a track cut off that. Probably, but hopefully potentially he slowed down just enough to just get a warning. It slowed him down just enough though to lose the pace with Jeff Kelly. He's currently sitting at about a second. Almost 2 seconds in, a second and a half in, 1.8 seconds. Jonathan Kelly still fighting it out with Kyle Busch. The consistency of Kyle Busch is coming back. He's not letting Jeff Kelly get close, or maybe it's just the power of the Audi, as I think that's what it might be. It's looking like he's just pulling away ever so slowly from Jonathan Kelly, sorry. Yeah. The Porsche top end is not the greatest, but I'll be those. The corner carving from that Porsche is just a whole nother beast. As Jonathan Kelly just cuts that time down. And 2/10 off those series of corners. Potentially more here as it got a little bit squirrely on Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch forced to go on the defensive, getting a lot squirrely, and Jonathan Kelly seizing the opportunity and trying to get by him. And dare I say, unintentionally parked it in the corner to force Kyle Busch to not get around him. Oh my god, look at that power. What is in that Audi? Oh, he's hard on the brakes. It's gonna go wide. Audi parking it in the corner a little bit. Oh, these two are for sure fighting it out. They're in it's a dogfight here. Let's see who takes the S's a bit better. It's looking like Jonathan Kelly is taking it slightly cleaner, using the Porsche's agility to get so close to Kyle Busch. He's less than half a second at this current point, closing it into 2/10. 1/10. Oh my! He is on his bumper, making his presence known. He's on the inside, coming out of turn 11. He's getting squeezed out by Kyle Busch, and we already know the power of Kyle Busch's Audi. He's just gonna walk and run away from this. Jonathan Kelly, half a second, 8/10 of a second, 1 second. Oh my, Kyle Busch is putting it into overdrive in the straightaway and sending him to Gapplebee's. Hopefully he's gonna deliver his order on time. It feels like deja vu. Just Jonathan Kelly just comes back and chips away at, oh my, at those seconds coming out of the, oh, there's contact made. Oh, and he's at a precarious spot here. Kyle Busch already out on track. Jonathan Kelly out on track now. It was a left tap, and luckily no positions were lost. That was an aggressive move and courageous move by Jonathan Kelly. Kyle Busch trying to close that door though, and couldn't close it early enough, unfortunately. But this is a Jonathan Kelly's opportunity to show he has what it takes to enter the top 10, steal a top 10 spot away from Kyle Busch. There are 17 minutes left in the race. Plenty of time. Especially now that Jonathan Kelly has a bit of clean air. He is already chipping away at the time. He is 4.1 seconds away from Busch. Of course, Busch is entering turn 11, exiting turn 11 into the main straight, or the back straight. Just pulls on Jonathan Kelly here. My goodness. We're gonna let this battle simmer and check out the battle between Chris Unfair and Greg Landry. Greg Landry is coming back. Took that turn a little bit, just a tad bit too wide. But no harm, no foul. He's still within a second and a half of Chris Unfair, who is trying to do everything he can to make as little mistakes as possible. Greg Landry keeping him honest, not allowing Jordan over there to dunk. Chris Unfair coming up with the blocks. POV or the passenger seat with Greg Landry here. That's why watch him take the S's for a bit. Interesting to see how every car and every driver takes their S's here. Just a tad bit different. Greg Landry here mostly cruising at a certain specific gear. Trying not to upset the balance of his car by downshifting. Just we're gonna let the battle between these two potentially heat up as Zach Manriquez is forced to defend against Joshua Worley, who is hungry for more, currently sitting in P4, trying to make his way to the top 3 spot. I think it's official. I am calling it right now. Joshua Worley, most valuable driver in Coda. He just has been making moves, has been on fire. Almost the start of the race, just coming out of nowhere and climbing up the ranks. Quite exciting to see, to pay attention to. As you know, who hasn't gotten enough spotlight today? It's a clue. Joey Johnson in the white Porsche. Lucky number 7. I swear, did everybody change their cars? Because I am trying to match drivers to cars, and I feel like everyone is just hopping into new vehicles and going out to dry. Nonetheless, Joey Johnson sitting in a respectable 14th place. Not putting down the fastest laps, but being the most consistent. That is what is important, especially in Coda. Well, lap times do matter, but consistency matters more. If you constantly make mistakes, you'll end up at the bottom, or you'll just not have a great race, as a great enough race as what you're expecting. That is for sure. Good on Joey Johnson to keep at it, to keep on it, keep being consistent. Putting his head down and grinding out those laps. We have 12 minutes left in the race. It's still anyone's game. Albert Tranchisi is still in P1. Ross O'Connor was slowly closing the gap to Tranchisi, but now is has the gap extended quite a bit as when we sit into his passenger seat. You can just make out up ahead Albert Tranchisi. Albert Tranchisi is running away. One of the things I noticed with the Tranchisi Designs race team here is give him some clean air, and it's a potent combination. He takes full advantage of that and just runs away like no one's business. You can just make out Ross O'Connor in the distance as the gap slowly gets a little bit extended. Gelson Cruz entered the pits now. Oh, exiting the... He had a potentially a stop and go, or a my god, brain fart. Zach Manriquez though lost it against Joshua Worley. We missed the overtake. Oh no. I want to go back on the battles and review this. Will not briefly check out and see what happened. Zach Manriquez making moves, showing what the Porsche can do in the tight corners, and almost reclaimed his P3 spot. Joshua Worley sitting happy for sure in P3. Now pulling away, actually. They're approaching traffic here. Is that Darren Montes? That is Darren Montes, I believe. Oh, what a lunge! Oh no, what a lunge! I apologize for Joshua Worley. On behalf of Joshua Worley, Darren Montes, he did not mean to do that. He had to just get away or try to get away from Zach Manriquez. Hopefully, both of your cars aren't too badly damaged. It looks like you're okay. Terran Montes got a little bit more of that brunt force, or got a little bit more of that impact, unfortunately. Well, Ross O'Connor is not making ground on Albert Tranchisi, but you know what he does have rights to claim. Since there's 8 minutes left. If Albert Tranchisi can't make it or can't do anything about it, Ross O'Connor can claim that he has the fastest lap of the race. He is sitting at a 207.490. While Albert Tranchisi is sitting at a 207.505. That is 15 hundredths of a second faster, or slower than Ross O'Connor. Ross O'Connor being a tiny bit faster. Joshua Worley on... Yeah! I am just gonna stick my camera on these two and on... God damn it, guys. Come on. Well, there was contact there. But Joshua Worley gave the position back. Brad Tarno and Christopher Greider also getting into battles here. Tarno against Herrera, Greider against Montes. Oh, the battle for P2 or P3 and the battle for P15 is basically on the same screen here. I just noticed. Oh, Greider going way far. Probably just knew he was gonna overshoot that corner and decided just to bail and not ruin his or anyone's race. Brad Tarno, though, sticking to it and making sure Herrera knows that he is right behind him and to not make mistakes or things will get messy. As brilliant move by Brad Tarno. He gets right around Edgar Herrera. Edgar Herrera forced to be on the outside. That Mustang's grunt, though, oh my, he just almost closed that gap. He's out on the outside. He potentially will get was gonna get a potential better exit there. Had to tap on the brakes and slow himself down just a tad bit to avoid contact with Brad Tarno there. Who is going to take the cleaner S's, though? Right now, Brad Tarno getting away just ever so slightly. Edgar Herrera is having trouble controlling the power come out of that Mustang coming out of that corner. I'm gonna jump from these two and check out Christopher Greider here, who is very, very close to Darren Montes. Oh, I thought Grider was about to make a lunge of a century. Oh, but he is side by side. They're fighting for P15 at this current moment. There are 5 minutes left in the race. Montes is on the outside, unfortunately, so he's gonna have a. Oh, wow, what great carrying of speed there by Montes, just outright denying Grider, who was on the inside. These two are fighting it out the up until the bitter end. Wrong view. There we go. Ooh, Montes slightly. It seems like the Mustangs are losing it coming out of that corner, coming out of turn 9. Yeah, turn 9. Christopher Grider making moves happen. What great driving there. I need to set up my replay real quick. So we could have seen that. An instant replay of that. Nonetheless, though, the sheer power out of that Mustang is just something to be reckoned with. It's either that or it's good to point out and notice the overall speed differential between one make and another. The Porsche having what I think is the worst end of that bargain. As gonna check out Greg Landry. Gonna switch between both these drivers who are getting very, very close to their opponents. Greg Landry with Chris Unfair, Christopher Grider with Darren Montes. Darren going a little bit too wide. This is Christopher's opportunity to put his head down and try to stay ahead, because all Montes needs is the slightest bit of a straightaway, and he'll make up that time. Right behind them, we have Jeff Kelly, who doesn't have anyone around him, so he is good to just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. But Jeff Kelly sitting at P15 right now. Sorry, P5. So literally no one is behind him. In fact, Darren Montes doesn't need to go on the defense. He can just stay on the offensive. Unless he would like to let Jeff Kelly by, which would be fairly nice. Jeff Kelly not going on the attack or anything, just staying back and letting these two battle it out. Potentially battle it out. Hopefully Montes realizes this and can just continue on with the race. Try to fight it out with Christopher Grider here, because that'll be quite exciting.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
This is the final lap of the race. We have Albert Tranchisi from the Tranchisi Designs race team. Currently in P1. Running a fantastic race. I guess did the slow and steady and started to beat out Ross O'Connor. Ross O'Connor coming in at P2. A respectable P2. Albert Gianna, though, hating those signs, clearly. That was turn 16. Right now he's in 17 and 18, going kind of wide. Those tires have to be cooked. Hopefully it was just a oversteer issue and nothing too bad. Doesn't look like he has any damage of sorts, so I just had a tiny bit of mistake. Kyle Bush fighting it out with Jonathan Kelly. This is the last lap of the race, so he has one more lap to go. Joshua Worley also fighting it out with Zach Manriquez. This is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. It's go all in, all out, or go home. These two had potential contact. Wait. I just noticed Jonathan Kelly overtook Kyle Busch. When did this happen? Jonathan Kelly was actually able to catch up within the time and overtake Kyle Busch. We just missed a good battle. Damn it. We're gonna stick with Joshua Worley though, who is 4/10 of Zach Manriquez, but Zach takes these corners a bit better sitting in that Porsche. I don't think Worley is going to be able to claim the spot unless the P3 spot unless Zach makes a mistake here in turn 19 and turn 20. Oh no, what a good attempt by Joshua Waits. Nah, yeah, good attempt by Joshua Worley. They just crossed the finish line there. Very nicely done. Oh my. Thankfully, we have functioning airbags and the best safety system in the world. Yeah. Albert Tranchisi, congratulations. P1. That's what I'm talking about. Ross O'Connor coming in at P2. Zach Manriquez, who is right here chilling in Big Red, P3. Joshua Worley, P4. Jeff Kelly, P5. Chris Unfair, P6. Greg Lantry, P7. Albert Guiana, P8. Jonathan Kelly, P9. Kyle Busch coming in at P10. Missed that fight, but we'll probably see it in the highlights. Brad Tarno, P11. Very nicely done. Edgar Herrera right behind him. P12. Gelson Cruz coming in at P13. Not bad for his first day back. He was quite aggressive. We'd love to see that. And, well, Joey Johnson was, I think P14. And the Darren Montes and, oh my, what was the other driver? Herrera? Well, the race ended, so the race ended quite abruptly there. Awkward. Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Coda. We had action almost. No, actually, we did have action pretty much throughout the whole race, which is gonna leave me with a lot of editing work. But thankfully, it gives you, my viewers, our viewers, quite a show. Off the top of my head, since Tranchisi 1P1, he is, and I think Ross O'Connor was P2. They are going to be off by 1 point. Albert Tranchisi claiming P1 spot for the gold splits by 1 point. And O'Connor is going to be down by 1 and maybe potentially 2 points. So we'll see here. Yeah, oh my, I mean, I talk so much throughout the race. I am quite exhausted a little, just a tad bit. Hoda, it never disappoints. Never seems to disappoint. Go big or go home, especially in Texas. You know what I mean. Anyway, before I leave, I'm gonna go over the housekeeping here one more time for anyone who is here who would like to join us. Join us on Twitch. Follow us on wait. Join us on Discord. Follow us on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and check out Reddit. We post every once in a while. But if you want to just check out the races, click on SimGrid here. Wait, before I even do that, how do you even get here? Oh my, I am so bad. You type in, it's right here in the top left. That's 5firacing.com. That's the number 5 firacing.com. You click that, hit the first link, which is SimGrid, and it'll take you to this page. Click the first link right here. We're on Founders League Season 7. From here, you hit register. We have one spot in the gold split, one spot in the silver split. Hit register. Select your class, car number. If you don't have a team, leave it blank. All the notifications, well, not really, just whatever you really want. And register. I will not be registering, but you can, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fill out this grid. Join us for the race. Before I leave, let's look at what we're racing next week. We are going to be to me, I don't necessarily like Imola for round 5, but you know, we're going to Imola for round 5. So that'll be quite exciting. I hope I hope to see you guys next week. And I hope y'all have a fantastic day, fantastic night, fantastic evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Hope your day is great and amazing. Who's the winner in Imola? Oh, Kyle Busch wins Imola, or won Imola a lot. And I do believe Joshua Worley is a wet weather demon at Imola. He ends up taking the top spots almost religiously. Anyway, I hope to see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
this is my life.